think when you're in it, you don't really understand what stress is, or you're not aware of it. It's just an emotion that you attach to being a sportsman. So when you look back at your career and you look back at moments, you think you can understand why your performance maybe wasn't at the level you needed it to be because of outside influences that was causing stress, or even yourself. So when I look back at my time at Blackburn Rovers, I think the most stressful, pressured moments for me was being injured. So, you know, things could be going really well and you've got the dreams to break into the first team and you may be getting closer, and then you pick up an injury and you're 2-3 weeks, you can't train or you can't play. And then other young players are starting to take your place, and then you get fit again, and so you're having to catch up. And your contract may be running out, so you may have 1 year left on your contract. So you're playing for your livelihood, not just a game anymore. So
to get extended the contract as well.
To get an extended contract, you've got to perform. So what you would do is you'd be doing really well. And I used to think, I'm doing really well. I'm getting closer now to breaking through to the first team, and maybe I'll pick up an injury like everybody does. You know, it's the same for everyone. I'll pick up an injury, and then mentally I'll be like, I need to be playing. So you maybe come back and play when you're injured because you feel you need to be playing, but then you underperform. So then it takes you into that stressed state of worry and concern about how am I going to get back to full high performing level when I'm not feeling physically great. And so your performance would slip. And then all the sort of, I guess the fears of not getting kept on at the football club was the biggest stress, because at the end of the year, if you didn't get another contract, you've got to find another club, and that was very daunting for most players, and it was for me. I remember thinking, when I was 16, I signed a 4-year contract, and as it got towards the end of that contract, I can remember that everybody would just be saying, do you think you'll get another contract? Do you think you'll get to stay? And it used to build up this sort of, this thought of, what if I don't get another contract? And it would affect your performance, there's no doubt about it. And then when you pick up injuries, there's nothing you can do. When you're injured, you cannot influence anything. You just got to work hard to get fit again. So you'd work as hard as you could to get fit again, and as soon as you were back fit, you're then playing for the contract, you're playing to win. Although you loved the game, there was always that bigger purpose of, I need another contract because it's my livelihood, it's what I do. So the biggest stress was just coming up to contract time, am I going to get a contract or not?
Yeah, that's very interesting, and that brings me to the question of how did you manage it? How did you properly manage it so that the stress levels were on the normal level, not too high?
So I think because I had such a love for football, I just loved football, I loved training, I loved being around the guys. It's the most inspirational environment, being with people that all want to win together.
Yeah, they're high performance
they're all
people.
That's right, they're all high performers, they all want to win at all costs. So the love of the game used to take away the stress, because when you stepped on that pitch, it was in the moment of playing football. When you was in training, all you was doing was loving football and loving being around other guys and having fun and playing tricks on each other and enjoying the camaraderie. It was more when you would leave the training ground and you would lay in bed at night, it would be the time you start to think about the contracts and am I going to get kept on, what happens if I don't get kept on. So actually crossing the white line was easy. Playing the game itself was easy because we'd grown up as little boys loving football, and that love is always there in sport. I believe every footballer, especially I come across, started playing the game because they loved it.
Yeah, it's the passion. It's the passion. I think also passion and encouragement you have can be a medicine against any kind of stress levels you have.
It's the best medicine in the world. It's passionate. You've got a purpose for why you're doing it, and everything's great. It's more when you're away from the game that you could feel quite isolated. Maybe not have many people to talk to about the worries and concerns that you had, because everybody sees you as this sportsman, this hungry, this driven person, yet inside you might have these fears of what if, and at that time there wasn't really many people to talk to about your concern. You would just get on with it kind of thing, just get on with it, keep going, keep working.
Be like mental tough with it, that terms. But didn't you have any kind of psychologists or coaches that could follow you outside the training field?
It just started to come into it. So the very first manager I came across that introduced psychologists was Sam Allardyce. Because he knew when I was at Bolton Wanderers with Sam Allardyce, he knew that looking on paper, Bolton Wanderers couldn't compete with Manchester United or Arsenal or Chelsea. However, what he did, he said, well, if we're here at Bolton Wanderers and Manchester United are here, if we have psychologists, nutritionists, doctors, fitness coaches, we can maybe get closer. So let's do all that we can to give us that extra 2 millimetres of edge on the rest. So he would look at all different scientific reasons and ways to enhance our performance, because he couldn't go and buy a player for £10 million or 15 million. He had to work with what he had, and he put in so many great things. So that was the first time I was really introduced to psychologists, and it did make a difference. It was good to have people putting things in perspective for you. You know, looking at different scenarios on and off a football pitch of how you could look at things differently to give you a different emotion with it.
But then I'm a little bit curious, because having a psychologist, the main purpose is probably to enhance your performance. Did you feel any kind of difference between having help from a psychologist in terms of performance and not having that kind of offer? Or,
I think so. One of my main moments of working with a psychologist, I remember it was actually, I was on international duty, so I was 18 at the time, and I'd never worked with a psychologist before. This was just before I came to see Sam Allardyce. So my first ever introduction to a psychologist was a guy called Bill Beswick, who was the England psychologist. And Howard Wilkinson at the time was our under-18 England manager, and I remember just as I walked out to a training game, a psychologist came up to me, and this was the first time I'd had any real interaction that I felt the power of it. He just said to me, Howard Wilkinson's not sure if he's going to play you next week. Go out on this training game and show him what you're made of, because you're the best player in this team. Now go and show him. And that little comment just gave me that lift. And I went out there and performed really well. So he didn't really have a discussion, he just said something, that one thing at that right moment for me. Took me onto the training ground and I was outstanding, everything went really well, and I played in the game. And on reflection, if he'd have said something different, like Howard Wilkinson's not thinking of playing you, you need to go out there and you need to work really hard. It was the way that he did it, go out there, show him, because you're the best player. It was like that intention that he gave me. It made me feel so much greater than I actually was.
Yeah, that's like the power of the mindset, actually.
Yeah.
That shift making the difference.
Yeah, it gave me the edge. It gave me that. I was walking out there for a normal training game, and then when he said that, it just took me up another level. Gave me the edge. I felt that adrenaline, that excitement to go out there and show him what I was made of. So that's when I first sensed the power of it. And then throughout my career, coming across different coaches and different psychologists, I think a lot of great coaches focused on the power of the mind as well. So they may not be trained in psychology, but they understood man management and understood how to get the best out of people.